Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video that's on a project that's been highly requested in the last few years. However, I never made the tutorial because I just thought there were enough tutorials out there. But I was asked again recently and I decided what the heck. I'm going to add the video to my channel. This is on traveler's notebooks. This one's going to be on the micro size, and I use for the micro size these composition notebooks from Dollar Tree, or these I got at Walmart, and I think they're cheaper at Walmart, and you can also find them, I think, Dollar General. So I'm going to be making this size. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know what you need if you want to try to make one. So first off is a laminator, because these will be laminated, but you don't necessarily have to make them laminated. You can use any material for your cover. If you sew, you can make a fabric cover. If you can do faux leather with like the faux leather from Hobby Lobby. But I'm not going to go into the other materials. I just want to do paper for this tutorial. So for the paper ones that are laminated, you're going to need laminating sheets. These I got on Amazon, and these are 8.5 by 11 inches. This sheet will do, I haven't made this size in a while. Yeah, this will do 2 notebooks. Okay, so you will only need one, or half of it. You need whatever paper, your favorite collection, whatever collection you want to use. I usually use 4 sheets of paper, 4 different patterns. One for the cover, one for each notebook, and I do 3 notebooks, and then I usually do a folder. So it's 5 sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets. Okay. I recommend using a trimmer, but you can also use a ruler and a knife. I'm going to be using a scoreboard, but it's not 100% necessary. You can just, fold by hand. I'm going to use the bone folder, some scissors for the folder, and I don't normally use a ruler because I just use my trimmer, but just in case I need to measure something to tell you what size it is. And also, if you make your own notebooks, then I do use the ruler and a knife, a blade. But I'm not making my own notebooks in this video. I'm just going to use what comes in this packet right here. If you do make your own notebooks, you will need a stapler as well. But like I said, I'm just going to use these notebooks. You get 3 for $1 at the Dollar Tree, or I think these are 87 cents at Walmart. I don't remember. I've had these for a while. I will also be using my Crocodile. You can use any hole punch. And I'm actually going to be doing the large one as well for the middle hole. Crocodile too. And I will be using, I think, my ATG gun. So you just adhesive, double-sided adhesive. There's going to be 2 ways for the notebooks, and I'll get to that. And the last thing, or another thing, is elastic to close it. There's different ways that you can do a closure on a notebook. This is the most popular kind, just with an elastic. And I got this one at Joann's. I think they're about $9.99. Use the coupon. And I've had this for years. I'm almost out of it. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I've made tons and tons of traveler's notebooks, because I do sell them. I just haven't made any recently. Well, actually I have. I just didn't post them. And you can also find the colored elastic on AliExpress. So I did order these a while ago. I haven't really used them. I did some pastel Halloween notebooks and I used some of this, but I never finished them, so I didn't share them. And I picked out, I have more, but I picked out these colors because I think these 3 colors match the collection perfectly. And optional, you can add a charm to your notebook on the side. And if you do add a charm, you will need whatever charm you want to use. For this notebook, I'm just going to add a tassel. And to attach it, you will need the tools to make a charm. I just have the regular round nose pliers and the flat nose pliers, and then just some jump rings. So I'm going to be using probably these ones right here. And I'm going to go ahead and show you a notebook that's been completed. I'll just go ahead for reference show you this Halloween one because it's what I have made. I have this in a Christmas one. So this is your elastic, this is the laminating sheet, this is your charm, and there's notebooks. I'm not going to go into all the extras like dashboards and page markers and paper clips for this notebook. For this video, it's just going to be a basic 3 notebook and a folder notebook, traveler notebook with a charm. But this is all decorated, and this is what the folder looks like. It's just to hold some extras like stickers. Okay. And you can also add extra charms on them. So let's get started. I'm gonna pick my paper. I have not picked my paper except for the cover. I chose this one. This is my favorite sheet from the whole collection. It must be because I only have one 12 by 12 left of this. So this one I grabbed from the 8 1/4 by 11.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. This will make 2 notebooks for 2 covers. You can use 6 by 6 paper. It won't go all the way around the notebook, but you can cut it and just glue it on if you want. So I've done that as well, and it saves paper. You can use, because I have a lot of 6 by 6 paper that I like to use, and it's really cute, but it won't go around. I can't use it for the larger, like the B6 notebooks. So basically, if you want to use like this pattern, I'm also going to get this out of the way. Sorry about that. If you want to use this pattern, and it's not going to go all the way around, you can cut it in half and just glue like 1/2. It'll go to about here. You glue this side here and then glue the other one in the back, and you'll have a black spine left. That's one option, and I do do that sometimes, but I do have bigger paper right now. These does this go around? Yeah, this is it's 8 by 8. So I'm going to go ahead and choose what paper I want for the 3 notebooks. I hate using the cut parts as paper, but this collection had mostly all cut parts. Like everything you could cut apart, basically. I'm going to go ahead and use this one for one of the notebooks, but it'll be this side. And this side. And yep, I'm gonna have to. And for the folder, it's hard choosing. I'll probably just go ahead and use this one again. So this is the same pattern, just on a different scale. But I'll probably use this side. One of these will be the folder. Okay. So I got my paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you are using, you know, like 12 by 12 paper, just you will cut it down to the measurements I'll be giving you. You don't have to use small paper just because it's a small notebook. But anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my... Also, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my laminator just to make sure it's hot. Alright. Okay. I'm going to cut this. This will be the cover, like I said. So it'll be this way. And the way you cut it is you measure, because you don't have to use this size. You can use any size notebook. All you have to do is get the size, and it's right here. Somewhere, yeah, 4.5 inches by 3 1/4. So this side is 4.5 inches. Okay. But I'm not gonna cut there. That's the size of the notebook. I like to add 1/4 inch at the bottom and 1/4 inch at the top. That makes 1/2 inch. So I will add 1/2 inch. That makes it 5 inches. Okay. There I will cut. And that's one cover. And then I will cut the other one as well. That's the height of your notebook. And then for the around, the notebook is 3 1/4 inches. So it's 3 1/4 inches for the front cover, and then it's 3 1/4 inches for the back cover, so that makes 6.5 inches. Then that will cover the front and the back. Then I'm going to add 1/4 inch on this side for the cover, 1/4 inch for the back side. That's 1/2 inch, so that goes to 7. Then you have to decide how big you want your spine to be. For my normal notebooks, I usually do an 1 1/4 to 1.5 inches, depending how chunky I'm gonna make it. But for these little ones, I'm only gonna make 1 inch. So I'm gonna add 1 inch. That makes it 8 inches. So I only take off 1/4 inch for this paper. So your final paper will be 8 inches by 5 inches, and that's for your cover. Okay. You know what? I just remembered that my laminating sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and make this second one because I don't want to waste it. So yeah. I'm probably gonna make this worse. And it did. Just gonna go ahead and cut this real quick. Okay. And then the side was just cut off a quarter, but I want to save this image, so I'm gonna do the back. Okay. So you got your two covers right here. One tool I forgot to mention is a corner rounder if you want to round off your covers, which I usually do. I'm using the Crocodile corner chomper, but you can use any corner rounder that you like. And I'm going to do the 1/2 inch side. And round off all the corners. And then this one. I can't see the camera, guys, so sorry if I go off frame. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is score the spine. You know what? I'm just going to use a small one. Okay. Okay, guys. Haven't done a tutorial in a while. I'm a little nervous. Okay. So, you want to score where it will score, well, it will leave you a 1/4 inch at the end. So if this is 3 1/4, you're going to add a 1/4 inch, so you're going to score at 3 1/2. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and do this side. Just because I want to make sure that my front cover is always the neatest part. So 3 1/2. Did I say 3 1/2? Yeah. And then we said we're going to leave 1 inch for the spine. So at 4 1/2, we're going to score again. You can either do that, or you can just flip it over and do 3 1/2 again. 3 1/2. I feel like when you score, the paper kind of shifts a little bit. That way you're guaranteed 3 1/4 on each side, while the spine may lose a tiny hair off of it. But that's okay. So I'm going to do this again. 3 1/2. 3 1/2. This bone folder is all rounded at the tip. It's really hard to use. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my laminating sheet. The laminating sheets are sealed on one side to make sure it doesn't get wrinkled when you put it in the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and place it kind of centered on the sides here. Get my second one and make sure there's just space in between, but also there needs to be like a border on this side so to make sure it seals. Okay. So like I said, with this one, with this size of notebook, you get 2 out of 1. I'm gonna bring the laminating machine over here. This is a Scotch laminating machine. I got it at Walmart. I know Target has it as well. This one is already, I've had it for a few years. This back thing that holds the paper kind of falls because, I don't know, it's old. So I have to hold it. But anyways, you're going to make sure you put the sealed part first. And it just comes out the other end already sealed. Notebooks. I wanted to make a B6, which is a 5x7 notebook size, but I need a bigger laminating sheet, and I have one laminating sheet left, and those are a little bit more pricey. So I can't order any right now, and I'm gonna save it because I have a project coming up and I'm gonna need it, so that's why I'm making these small ones. I'm also going to be including these small ones into my dulce kits. That's why I decided to do the micro instead of the next size. I'm gonna go ahead and add it again to make sure it seals this side. Sometimes it doesn't really do a difference, especially when it's just one sheet. And this is double-sided. Sometimes I put two sheets together to give it a front and back cover when there's only one side. But when you do that, it's a little bit thicker, and then laminating, it doesn't seal all the way to the edge. So I do it again on another side once it's sealed. This one should be good, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm just used to doing it twice. Okay, so it's already sealed on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. You want to cut about a quarter, not a quarter, I do an eighth of an inch after the part where it's still open. It's kind of always still open on the edge. I do an eighth of an inch border, sometimes a quarter of an inch if it's too thick, the paper's too thick. So we'll do that, and I'll trim all the way around, well, for each one. This one I kind of lined the paper to this line right here where the white starts, just to make sure it's even, because if I put it up against the plastic, I may not have put the paper straight. That's why I still want it to be straight. And then now it's straight, so now I can push it up against the top part. And then here. Not sure if I did this side. And the glare will not let me see. Okay. So I do want to add one micro traveler's notebook to each of my kits. I'm only making 4 kits for now. And I'm not done with them, but I do have the bows done for them, as well as the rosettes. And hopefully I will do the traveler's notebook soon. And then I just have to do like the die cuts and get together the embellishments. So I'm bringing back my corner rounder, round off the sharp edges. Okay, so that's the covers. I'm gonna put the covers on the side for now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the inserts. Okay, so for the notebooks, okay, so the notebook was 4¼ I believe. No, 4½. So that's what we're gonna cut this at, 4½. But I'm gonna make sure, sometimes they're not exactly the same size. This one seems to be, so 4½. Oops. That's one cover. Two. And 3. Okay. And then for the folder, so I usually laminate the larger ones, but the little ones I kind of just, I don't laminate them all the time. I'm not going to laminate this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the top part. This one I only measure the side, I don't measure the top. When I just cut it. I'll show you what I mean. So let's see. So it's 3¼ So I'm gonna need 3¼ plus 3¼ to fold it. That's 6½. Then I'm going to add a ½ inch to give it a quarter to fold over the notebook, the folder, sorry. So that's 7 inches for the sides. Then I cut the pony, not the pony, the horse. Okay, so then this one was hard to choose because when you fold over the paper, the back part, if you have double-sided paper, it will show all of these had images that were going to be upside down when you fold it, and I didn't like that. So this is why I'm choosing this one. When I folded this image, it does not have a right side up. I'm going to go ahead and do some scoring here. Okay, so I'm going to score it in half first, and half of it was 7. It's going to be 3½. Then I'm going to score the 1/4 inch that I added. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to score the other 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to flip it this way. So this is the right side up that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to flip it this way. And I'm going to score at the size of this side. Just 4.5. So I score at 4.5. Okay. So when you fold it all, this way, this is the size of your folder, the notebook. Okay. The 1/4 inch that's going to be for where I'm going to put the glue. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut this way, here. And I'm also going to make sure that I cut to the left of the score line. Because if you cut on the score line or leave a little bit, it's going to make it like a bump. And then when I reach this side, I'm going to do like a diagonal cut this way. And then on this side as well. And I'm going to do the same to the side over here. Alright, then for this, I usually I fold it over and then I make whatever shape that I want for the pocket. Then I cut. And you can leave it like that, or you can cut the pockets shorter. I'm gonna use my trimmer. Okay. And then where it folds over, you can go ahead and cut a slit. And then I do the diagonal cut again. The same on this side. Okay. And then you can go ahead and fold over. And for this, I use wet glue, so I'm gonna use this mono liquid glue because I'm out of the art glitter glue, which is the one that I like, but I'm out of it. I have to order more. But I left it open, so I'm gonna try to. Okay. Then you can go ahead and glue it. I can't even see. It's not coming out. Okay, so this one is taking a little bit to dry. I already did the other side. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So I'm gonna put with some clips. Okay, I'm just gonna let it dry for now. Alright, so then for these, all you have to do is wrap it around your notebooks. So the size. Also, these are rounded off, so I'm going to go ahead and round these corners as well. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch, but I'm not going to go all the way in because this isn't really a 1/2 inch, but it's not quite a 1/4 inch either. I'm going to try to do all three at the same time. So I'm actually going to pull out a little bit. That's kind of okay. And okay. Actually, you know what, guys? I didn't even measure it around. So we cut this at 4.5, but we didn't cut the other side. I forgot. So you just round it, wrap it around like this. Or how you want it. I did mention that I don't staple mine just because these notebooks are really thick. The staple does not go through. You can always hand stitch, but I'm not about that. You can fold this inside or cut it. I usually just cut it. So that's one. Here's another one. Just wrap it around. Sometimes I do score it, like the larger versions, because it has kind of like a 1/4 inch spine. But these I just go around. Okay. I just love that these are double-sided papers. Okay. Then I'm just going to go ahead and trim them. So that's one. Salud. Salud. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and round it. Okay guys, so you got the notebooks. Got the folder. You got these 3 notebooks here. Okay, so let's go back to the covers. I'm gonna use my, what is this, crocodile hole puncher. And I'm gonna do 3 holes at the top, 3 at the bottom. I'd never measure with this. You just kind of move this where you want it, and then I never measure anything else. But I think I moved it recently. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it smaller. Is it about a quarter of an inch from the edge, and I'm gonna do 1 in the center and then 1 on each side. Okay. And it's just eyeballing. You can measure if you want, if you really want it to be spaced out evenly, but I don't measure, I just eyeball it. Can hardly see with the glare. Okay. And then the last hole in the middle, I'm gonna use this one. I'm not sure how the measurements are on this. 1, 2. Okay, I think it's 2 this way. You can always just measure with your ruler and then figure it out like that, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay. And I'm gonna do this one too. Mostly because I prefer this cover. I didn't even do the notebooks for the other one. Okay. I think that's the middle. Okay. Anyway, you can go ahead and fold this fine. Now we're gonna do the elastic. Let me choose a color. I'm gonna do teal or mint. Okay. So the way I measure this, like I said, I don't measure with the ruler, but I measure the spine 4 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one is a little bit stretchier than this Joann's one. So this might be too much anyways. And then for the middle, I just go around it. I don't pull it, I don't stretch it, because this will be stretched and you'll have excess. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to bind it. So I'm going to go in, oh, this is backwards. I'm going to go into the top hole from the inside cover. Okay. Then I'm going to come back on the second hole inside. Then I'm going to go to the bottom second hole. So I'm going to keep it in a straight line. And then I'm going to come back in through the one on the third hole. Then I go all the way up to the last hole. And then come back in through the middle hole. Okay, and I'm going to pull some of this so I can have enough. Then go back out through the middle hole, so you'll end up with 2 strands in the middle hole only. And then come back inside on the first hole from the bottom. Then when you come inside, you can tie it, but I'm going to make sure these are tight because this elastic is a little loose. Hold on. And I want to make it taut. Okay. Then go ahead and do your knot. And then cut off, just leave like an inch on each side. Okay. And then with this elastic, I will make a knot. It should be, when it stretches, it should be enough for the whole book, even when it's full. You don't want it too loose so you can keep all your stuff together if you add more either notebooks or papers, pictures, anything. But you don't want it too tight, that's going to bend the cover. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with the notebooks. You can position them how you want. Okay. Just find the middle. Oh, this one's backwards. Find the middle. Salud. Okay. And then just put it in through the elastics. So first, I'm trying to find the middle of these where it's sewn in. Okay, and then your last one. And you have one more elastic, that's where your folder is going to be. Let's go back to the folder. Okay, I'm going to round off the corners. Okay, the outside corners. And then I'm also going to round off these because I don't want it ripping from the elastic. But I'm going to use the 1/4 inch. You can use the other one, but I don't like to have it too round. It's just a little bit of space. It ended right in the middle of the butterfly. Just a little bit of space so that the elastic isn't ripping through it. So you can put this in the middle, in the back. I always put it in the back. So now you have this folder. You can decorate as you like. I might add an image right now. But I'm I don't want to do too much decorating because this video is already an hour long and I still have to do the charm. This is what it looks like in the front. Isn't it very, very cute, especially with this collection? You can make your spine thicker, you can make it with less notebooks. I'm gonna go ahead and add a charm real quick and then we're done. And a little, I'm gonna add a lobster clasp, or probably not. You can add, like you can make a charm and add it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and attach it. It can still be removed. So I'm holding it, and then I open it. Put in the tassel, and then go in through either one of those holes here. Okay, and then I just close it back up. And like I said, you can decorate it. I like to add trims on the inside of mine so it can show. I don't have one right now to show you, but I'm going to leave these plain because the person who gets them might want to do their own decorating with the kit, because it's going to come with the kit, so you can use the kit, the trims that I provide in the kit, to decorate your own. That's a tassel from AliExpress, but it was a little uneven, so that's what it looks like right now. I really like the way it came out. I love the colors. It's my absolute favorite collection, I believe. I also want to say one more thing. Normally, you can put paper clips to keep this covered. You can hand stitch it together. Normally, what I also like to do sometimes is go ahead and remove the cover. Like this one is dark blue. You can go ahead and remove it. I use a knife and just remove the cover, and you'll end up with just the lined paper inside this cover. You can do that as well. But lately I've just been leaving it. Add your paper clips, add pockets, add an image here. You know, decorate how you want. I won't be decorating these. So I hope this was easy to follow. I'm sorry, I don't know why it took so long, but I hope you give it a try.